Right, everyone, we're back. Brand new season. The sun is shining, and my great mate Stevie is here. I love you, Steve. Have I ever told you that?
Was that 20 seconds and that's the first lie already? Brilliant. Anyway, are we just going to get this? I'm going to address the £500 elephant here. But sorry, Reeds wasn't here, so we'll just address.
Are you talking about money or weight?
Just go, get it out of the way, and then that's it. We're not
I
going
am
to talk
saying
about
nothing. I will leave that up to everyone else. Apparently they love commenting glasses, I found out last week. So, yeah, comment about Stevie's glasses, I think. I think you look good, genuinely. Being serious, I think they're suiting you.
I did get them to basically see through you, Hamish. So every wee bit of patter, every nicety you've got to say. I know it's all fake and false, but I know there was a game to talk about too, not just these specs.
Well, we'll get on and chat about the game in a minute. Celtic 2, Blackburn Rovers 2. What about being back at Celtic Park, rolling down London Road? Sun was shining. I really enjoyed, the whole thing of walking back through that turnstile, Davy turnstile.
Oh God! Right, see you after. Yeah, it was great. It was again the pre-match ritual of. Actually, managed to not stuff my face on my way.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a McDonald's.
Right.
Had a KFC. But had a wee quick wrap and got to the
What
game.
about the game, being at the game?
I was about to get to that. Just got my usual 45 minutes early and just watching the players all train intensely. It was great again. It was good atmosphere, and generally it's always nice with these games, isn't it, when it's nice
Pressure's
and dry.
off.
Nice and dry as well, and none of that nonsense rain.
Yeah.
Getting a good bit of weather's nice.
See how long it lasts. Probably next week it'll be back to
A few days and that's
to
it.
raining. You never lose it, do you? Coming back to the ground.
Cheers.
You never lose it though. Coming back to the ground, that buzz was back. I just thought it was amazing being back in. Pitch is looking immaculate. I mean, there'd be something wrong if it wasn't. Being the middle of summer, but it just looked great. And Celtic were magic. I thought in the first half. I thought Jota was on fire. Matt O'Reilly was a joy to watch. David Turnbull was great. Kyogo was good. McGregor was brilliant. I just really enjoyed watching Celtic in the first half.
Just picked up where he left off, very commanding again. I think you're right. I think not just the first half, I'd say the first 65 to 70 minutes, up until we brought on the reserves, really.
I think we'd have won that game.
I mean, essentially, I know that it's going to go down as a 2-each draw, but the reality was that first team done the job, and up until the 70th minute, if we didn't make all the subs, they were seeing that game out comfortably. They looked really in control, they were great, and it just goes to show, I think the good thing has been, like, after the first game against the regional side, we've really picked up the second game we picked up the intensity against Rapid, and then the third game against Ostrava, and now this one as well. It's been really intense physical games. I mean, Blackburn came
decent side.
I think
8th in the championship last season. I mean, they're not
already finished.
Yeah,
I was surprised at that. The first thing I noticed was just how big and physical they were. I said to my uncle, as soon as you saw the team and the size of them, it was going to be a battle, and you saw the type of football they came to play. I mean, they didn't treat that like a friendly, and you saw they actually made their first subs, didn't they, in like 60 to 70 minutes too. So they were treating that as a very competitive match, but that's good for us because it bodes well for what is going to be, a very difficult campaign in a couple of weeks as well when it kicks off against Aberdeen. You know how they're going to play as well.
I mean, you know that Ange wants these proper friendly matches. I don't think he even would use the word friendly. I think it's preparation, and he wants these real physical matches. He wants something on the line, and he wants them played in proper stadia with decent crowds. It was far from full today, despite Celtic saying it was a sellout yesterday. But in general, it was a decent turnout. It felt like a kind of proper game today. A bit of kind of banter between the two sets of support, Scotland, England, all of that stuff. I should say, by the way, perfectly fine, outside the ground, Celtic, Blackburn fans kind of mingling, but at the game there was a wee bit of needle between the support, and it kind of fed onto the pitch. It was a kind of feisty friendly, I would say. I think there was 6 bookings, they had 3 in the first half, so it was quite niggly. But again, I don't think Ange, as much as some of the challenges were maybe a little bit, overzealous, he'll be wanting that kind of physical game. Getting spotted by people here, legends. Right, take it away, Stevie.
I think you're totally right. I think Ange would have preferred that type of game rather than one of the ones where it was just going through the motions. We scored a few and then we're battering the team. I think Ange will learn more from the way that we reacted after not only going to go down but also just with how physical they were, because we kept our discipline. We didn't rise to it, because in the first 15 minutes or so, the challenges they were putting in, I mean, I think they were going out, I wouldn't say going out to do us, but they were wanting to sort of leave a mark on some of our players, but none of our players reacted. We didn't go toe-to-toe with them physically. We just played our own football.
Until James McCarthy came on.
And then you saw, you saw after the 10 minutes. It reminded me a lot of, remember when we went a goal down against Hearts in the third last game of the season, and then Hearts were being physical, but we still kept playing our football, and we're just continuing on what we've seen last season. We're believing in what we do. We've got our own philosophy, and it was great to see that we really took control of the game. And as soon as, like, even before Jota scored, we were looking well in control. Blackburn at times were, and I noticed in the first half, the front three, they were, in the first 5 minutes, they were putting on, they were like pressing so aggressively, and then see when they were chasing shadows after we were dominating that possession, they were looking knackered. I think it was Diaz,
Brereton Diaz.
Aye, that guy.
As I say, he's a guy who read his name for the first time 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, he was looking done in the first half, and so was Sam Gallagher, their number 9 too, as well as their 10. And I think Ange will see plenty of positives in that as well, despite the 2 each draw.
It's interesting. I mean, Blackburn Rovers they're not a Champions League team.
Really?
They're probably not miles off a kind of Europa League 4th pot team. I mean, Ferencváros, Blackburn, I think would be a pretty even game. So you're up against a decent side today. Certainly much better than every team will face in Scotland, apart from the obvious ones. So I think it's always interesting to see Celtic pressing a team who are able to play out. They did it a couple of times. They didn't do it too many times. Certainly as the game went on and we made those subs, they were able to play through us a bit easier, which is what's going to happen. I mean, as I say, 8th in the Championship last year. They're not a million miles away from being an English Premier League team. So I think it was a good workout today, and I think in general, I'm looking at that today, and I'm looking at the way Celtic press, and I'm imagining a Champions League night here, the stadium packed, the atmosphere, hostile, and I think Celtic can have some success in this stadium, even against the top teams this year.
I was thinking.
He says after a 2-2 draw with Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, I was thinking, to be fair though, like while you're saying that, what was going through my mind was when I was seeing that pressing from us and by Blackburn, I was thinking regardless, we're still really needing to strengthen, and we're looking to we need to still upgrade, get into that Champions League. But I was impressed with what I definitely saw with the level of intensity we saw of Celtic in that friendly today.
Jota, can we chat about Jota? Can we just spend the next 5 minutes chatting about that? Scoop over the head, completely unnecessary, didn't need to do it at all. In fact, I think he could probably played it in for Kyogo in the middle, or Maida would have been, but amazing to watch, and him in the first 15 minutes was a joy to watch.
I don't know who the name of that right back was, but fair play to him retiring after that game. I mean, I was completely ended.
Is that him away?
Number 17 away. But yeah, he was one that was being quite physical and aggressive as well today, but that was just wonderful with Jota. I think the way that he took his goal too, just great technique from him, and as I keep saying, I'm just so delighted we got the guy. It was very important we got him, not just for wee moments like that, but the way he can link between defence and midfield. He's tracking back a lot, helping Taylor. He was finding a lot of pockets of space in midfield and then linking up the play, sort of feeding it out to Abada out wide and to Taylor in the overlap. Just such a joy to watch, and again, just have to appreciate him while he's here. But that was a great start again for him coming back.
He got a good reception as well, but he was quite slow, I thought, in the first few games of this season, but today, it seemed like he was kind of back and right at it. See, when he's running at pace, his ability to still be in control of the ball, I don't know, you've got a better memory than me. Who was the last Celtic player who could run at pace and still beat players? I mean, was it McGeady? Was it even further back than that?
I mean, McGeady has the...
Paddy Roberts, maybe?
I guess so, but McGeady is the obvious one, because McGeady was also like Jota as well, can be two-footed, and that was like even McGeady was as well. But yeah, that's a very good comparison there.
Thank you. Abada had a few good runs, final ball probably let him down. I thought Matt O'Reilly was just a joy to watch. I tweeted about this, I was watching him today and he really looked like Joe Ledley for some reason. I can't put my finger on it. I think he's done something different with his hair. His hair's maybe slightly longer, or maybe the other thought I had was, I'm getting funny looks, maybe it was that the hoops are different this season. It reminds me of like 2011 when I think we had similar kind of hoops, but he just really looked away, even the way he plays. He looks like Rogic, but also a bit of Joe Ledley in him today.
I can't disagree too much with the Ledley side of things, especially when he has a goal threat. He's got a great left foot on him, and he's capable of getting goals from like outside and inside the box, makes those late runs. But what I noted was actually, he looks to have like there's a potential like physical asset there as well. I mean, when you look at the size of O'Reilly, he can put himself about. I know that thing is, Ange doesn't want his players just to take bodies. He's never going to be like that. He'll want Matt O'Reilly just to continue being a very good footballer. But when I was seeing him in Blackburn, I mean, the first 10 minutes or so when I was seeing Blackburn's midfield, and it didn't look as if we had enough of a physical presence. And then O'Reilly sort of
grew into
the game. He grew into the game, and I was just like saying to myself, if he could just work on being more of a physical asset for us, I think there's something there. But primarily I think Ange will want to keep him just continuing where he left off last season. I don't think we're going to see it, which is a shame, but I think it's something that can be used or utilised, certainly.
Yeah, I like the look of that midfield at the moment. I know we've got Hatate, who I think would probably come in for the Aberdeen game, probably for Turnbull, but I thought Turnbull was good again today, and I think Callum McGregor just looks really good. I thought that midfield was good. As I say, I thought Jota was good. I think at times we can get Kyogo into these games more, but again, I felt there was a lot of space in behind maybe in the first half, and Kyogo was making runs and it wasn't quite coming.
And then I think as well, Rogic and Kyogo had a very good relationship, and that's going to need to be something that we replace too. I know that Rogic isn't a player that we can easily just say, oh well, let's just get somebody else to take it. Rogic had amazing trademark abilities that not a lot of players do, and he was so sort of relaxed in the ball, and he could spot Kyogo's runs so well. Yeah. But yeah, I think Kyogo and him did have a very good relationship. But again, it'll pick up, won't it, when the more that we get into the season. But it's a fourth friendly, isn't it?
2 more to go.
Kyogo will get back into the swing of things. Once it gets a goal competitive game, he'll not look back, really.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see the Hatate-Kyogo partnership, I think.
That's right, Hatate as well.
Not properly seen that, so that should be interesting. Ben Siegrist comes on at half-time, made quite a good few good saves. I counted 4.
The save I think he made from...
his foot.
It made 3 from Gallagher, I think, but there was one for long range where the boy, I think Diaz was it, cut inside, hit it, and it bounced at the last minute, and he palmed it out wide. Had a very good view of it. Fantastic save. I
mean, you're a man who loves a kit. Is that a light blue goalkeeper's kit?
It is, yes. Are you going to start here?
Well, blue.
You want to start on light blue? Are you going to start
but that's white in general. Get those feet. Show those feet.
I'm no physical enough. That's not.
He's got blue. What are they? Gazelles or?
No, they're I don't think MD cares at this point. They're blue and white trainers, alright.
But they're mainly white, but they're also blue and blue as well.
Anyway, about Siegrist.
But a light blue goalkeeper's kit, not a fan of it. The other thing I wanted to pick out is a small criticism, and I'm obviously, firmly tongue-in-cheek here. Singing the top of the league song. We're not top of the league. Aberdeen are top of the league. So let's sort that in future until we do indeed go to the top of the league.
Are on one day, ain't you?
Only minor criticisms. Anything else, Stevie, you want to get off your chest?
I just want to say Kevin Clancy did not give a penalty against us. What a ref. I have never criticised him.
Can't believe. I thought you were going to criticise him there when I heard Kevin Clancy in a friendly.
Nah, not at all. I mean, fair enough, I wrote it down. The main thing to take away was it was like a throwback of the old days of yore. Back in my day when it was friendlies against English opposition, there was always a needle to them games, and it was
good atmosphere.
The one I always remember was like Man U. I think Ryan Giggs' testimonial, Man U Celtic, when it was the famous Sutton had Beckham by the throat.
Was that down there?
It was down there, but it was like it was not like a friendly at all. Both teams wanted to sort of win that. They hated each other. I mean, not saying it was that level up here, but you could tell both teams were really going for the win, and Ange certainly see more positives out of that, but the type of game it was. If it was like a run-of-the-mill one where we just gubbed a team 5 or 6-0.
Yeah. Legia on Wednesday night, we'll obviously preview that, we'll review it as well, and then Norwich City back here next Saturday, 3 p.m kick-off. That should be another step up, you would say, from Blackburn, a team who have just come down for the Premier League and have ambitions to go up. So I think it's looking increasingly like a good pre-season schedule. We'll say goodbye for now, Stevie. I know you've got a date in the centre of town with a certain Mr. John Reid, not the politician I should add, so enjoy yourself there, and we'll be back very soon.